Frederick v. Morse was a case dealing with First Amendment rights. Can a principal restrict their students' freedom of expression? The incident occurred during the Olympic torch relay in 2002 at Juneau Douglas High School in Juneau, Alaska. Let's take a look at what happened.
Mr. Chief Justice, and may it please the Court, illegal drugs and the glorification of the drug culture are profoundly serious problems for our nation. The rule of the Court, as articulated in Tinker, is that there is, in fact, a right to political speech subject to disruption, requirements that the speech not be disrupted. This is a school-authorized event. This is education outside of the classroom. It was essentially a school assembly out of doors. The argument is that this court in Tinker articulated a rule that allows the school boards considerable discretion both in identifying the educational mission and to prevent disruption of that mission. Let me be very specific. This case is ultimately about drugs and other illegal substances. Under our theory, we think she could have interfered with that because it was disruptive to the event. It was disorderly to the event itself.
What would be disorder? I don't understand this disorder. It's political speech, it seems to me. I don't see what it disrupts. And unless disruption simply means any statement of disagreement with a position officially adopted by the school.
Someone has to interpret the message, and the frontline message interpreter is the school official.
Mr. Chief Justice, and may it please the Court. This is a case about free speech. It is not a case about drugs.
It was completely disruptive of the message, of the theme that the school wanted to promote, completely disruptive of the reason for letting the students out to begin with, completely disruptive of the school's image that they wanted to portray in sponsoring the Olympics.
He joined a public crowd on a public sidewalk in front of private homes.
So under your view, if the principal sees something wrong and the crowd across the street has to come home and say, now, how many here are truants and how many were here? And I can't discipline you because you're a truant. You can go ahead and throw the bottle.
Because you're both a truant and a disruptor, you get off. Had you been just a disruptor, tough luck.
It may well be that he could have been punished for being truant, but of course that's not why we're here. He was punished for displaying, for the content of the sign he was displaying in a public place as a private citizen.
Seems to me it's like joining a school trip at the zoo. You know, you don't make it to the school, but you drive there yourself and then join the class as it's going through the zoo. It seems to me he's in school.
A better analogy might be if he had gone on his own time to the zoo and was engaging in some expressive act, and there happened to be a school group there at the same time, could the teacher with that group then have disciplined?
Frederick lost in the trial court. The verdict was reversed by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit, deeming it a violation of the First Amendment rights of the students. The school was forced to hold a forum on free speech, and Frederick won $45,000. Principal Morse and the school district appealed to the Supreme Court, who ruled 5-4 in favor of Principal Morse, stating that because the incident occurred during school hours and was monitored and approved by staff, it was a school event, and that failing to act would set a precedent for other students. Students do not have the same First Amendment rights as adults in other settings, and the message Frederick was attempting to send was simply to get on television, and despite his humorous intentions, he was contributing to the normalization of drug use. Though this case may seem frivolous on the surface, it established students' rights at school and muddied the waters on freedom of expression. Recently, students in particular are now more than ever uniting in a powerful call for gun reform, as their safety has been compromised time and time again. Students from 2,800 schools nationwide, along with other countries around the world, stood in solidarity with victims of gun violence everywhere. Atherton High School students organized and worked with administration to ensure a smooth transition during the school day, finding a balance between bipartisanship, freedom of expression, and honoring the victims of the Parkland shooting without the aggressive political connotations. Other schools, however, threatened their students with suspension or other methods to suppress their freedoms of expression and silence them. The instances were punishments based on truancy, not an issue of content, as Frederick v. Morse was.